definition of bisect. Now, once again, this is not the most technical definition, but the word bisect, to cut in half. Okay, so here we're going to cut things in half, and specifically we're going to cut an angle in half. So I'm going to draw a little diagram over here. There's my angle. I'm going to put a dot here. I'm going to put a vertex here. I'm going to put a dot here. I'm going to go with P, Q, R, and then I'm going to bisect this angle, which means I'm going to cut it in half. Try your best to get right in the middle. Cut it in half, and we're going to name this S. Now, if QS, that is a ray, cuts this angle in half, then what do we know about the angle over here and the angle over here? Well, if it's cut in half, then we know they're the same. On here, we can mark that with those two little kind of curvy lines. So in an angle, that means congruent. So what we're going to say is we're going to say that angle P, Q, S, so P to Q to S, is congruent to angle S, Q, R. And that is the definition of bisect, because if QS cuts this thing in half, then I know this side is congruent to this side. Now let's look at what that looks like in a proof. So we are given the image. We're going to put work. We're going to put reasons. I'm going to put number 1, which is always our given. This time we are given that angle ABD is bisected. Okay, and then there's a key word that you should be looking for. When I start giving these, when you start getting these to do on your own, look for key words. If it says bisected, you should probably go look in your notes for where it says bisected. If it says midpoint, you should go look in your notes for where it says midpoint. If it gives you an angle, go look at angle addition. If it gives you a segment, go look at segment addition. Look at what you're given and try to compare to what you know. So angle ABD is bisected by BC. And we have to prove that x equals 6. So if I look at my picture, A, B, D, bisected, cut in half by BC. Well, if it's cut in half, then what do we know about this one and this one? Oh, we know they're congruent. So I know that this is equal to this. Step 2, you can't just say that 2x plus 4 equals 7x minus 26, because the definition of bisect doesn't say anything about 2x plus 4 and 7x minus 26, but it does say something about what it does to the angles. So I know that angle ABC is congruent to angle CBD. That's what the definition of bisect says. Now that I know that, then I can say, okay, well, I know angle ABC is being represented by the 2x plus 4. Then I know that CBD is being represented by 7x minus 26. And that is substitution. Now we have to prove that x equals 6. So I'm going to put some scratch work. Okay, now I haven't mentioned this yet, but at this point, there's more than one way to solve this. So even if you don't solve it the way I solve it, you could still get the correct answer. Just make sure you're only doing one thing at a time. So I personally am going to subtract 2x. So 4 equals 5x minus 26. And that was subtraction. Property of equality. Then I'm going to add 26. So step 5, 30 equals 5x. And that was, I added 26, so addition, property of equality. From there, I'm going to divide by 5. Okay, and make sure you're paying attention to what side things are on, because if you just flip sides, that's going to get you in trouble. So 6 equals x, and what I mean by that is the x is on the right, you better leave it there. The 6 is on the right, you better leave it there. Okay, and that was division. And then I'm looking at this, and I have 6 equals x, which is pretty good, but it doesn't say that. It says x equals 6. Sorry. Okay, so we have to get to x equals 6, and right now I'm sitting with 6 equals x. So finally, I'm going to flip that. Which was, if you remember, your symmetric property. And now we're done.